Okay, welcome to the Seeker's Refuge. This is the introductory video. Um, Basically, all the views, opinions, or anything else presented in this video or future videos is based on my experience of what works for me. It's not meant to preach or proselytize or say this is the way you got to see things. It's just saying, hey, here's what works for me, and if there's anything here that works for you, that's cool. All right, in this first video, we're going to talk about it's all about survival. So lots of times, we look at what's going on in the world, or what our family or friends or politicians or other people are doing, and kind of go, "What the hell are these people doing? This doesn't make sense. These people are crazy." And people probably look at us and, at times say the same thing. So even though there's things we don't agree with in terms of what people may say or do or how they act, it's still a matter for me of recognizing that it's all about survival. From the minute we're born, we start picking up messages. We start getting information. We see the example set by our parents, by our siblings, if we have siblings, uh, and then we get older and start going to school or start being exposed to larger groups of people. And these days, of course, they got the internet and the social media and all that other stuff, all these new technologies that expose people to certain viewpoints. And this is where we start to compile our database for making equations. What does it mean to be strong? What does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? What does it mean to be this? How does this work? How does that work? And we see all these examples and we start compiling the information based on how we interpret it. Because again, we have to take responsibility for our own interpretation, especially as we get older and become adults. There's more responsibility. When we're kids, eh, we got less say so over the types of things that we may be exposed to or pick up along the way, or our ability to even process or recognize that we have some say in how we process. So as this information is gathered, we start to, make these little formulas in our mind and act accordingly. Um, Personally, I think a lot of the problems are based on the mass marketing machinery, where, these days, I mean, it seems like from the minute that a baby's popped out of the womb, it's, immediate marketing and advertisements about what you got to have, what toy you got to have. And kids going to school these days, it's not just about your shoes or your clothes, whether you fit in. It's you got the latest phone, or all the other stuff that you're supposed to have in order to be somebody. So when you look at it as everybody's trying to survive, you know, it's a matter of recognizing that this information and these formulas also go into how we start to identify who we think we are. And it's that identifying that further leads us into seeing things a certain way, processing things a certain way. Some call it belief confirmation bias, or whatever term you want to put at it. Once we adopt a certain view, it can be difficult to try and expand beyond that. But I would say that, if there's going to be change, it has to start with recognizing that we decide how to identify ourselves or how to re-identify ourselves, because it's that basic sense of what we think we need that sets up how we interact, you know. And sometimes we have to be willing to adjust. A lot of people, they talk about the terrible twos when it's realizing, oh, it's not all about me. What do you mean it's not all about me? Or the rebellious teens, or some people hit retirement and go through an identity shift and have troubles adjusting to all that. But still, it's recognizing that we have the power to define or redefine who we think we are, And that can include looking at those formulas, looking at some of the information and data we've collected along the way, and interpreting or reinterpreting it in such a way that empowers us to decide who do I want to be and how do I want to then proceed in trying to survive and ideally move beyond surviving to thriving. It's why some people are tree huggers because they identify as being part of the natural environment more. Um, or whether it's Republican, Democrat, Californian, or national identity or religious identity, sexual identity, however you want to identify yourself. There's any number of categories that you can do this, but it's first and foremost recognizing that everyone is just trying to make it, and we're all trying to sort through all the information we get bombarded with and how to filter it and how to hopefully adapt and, when necessary, adjust who we are and who we think we are, which sets up what we think we need to survive and how we should go about it. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.